challenges, and you have a lot of people fighting you. And Jesus said, yeah, I know. Don't be surprised when you meet these things. It's expected. I know. You are, because we are going out as sheep in the midst of wolves. I mean, everybody is fighting the church. The church has been one of the most useful, helpful organizations in most countries, bringing sanity, bringing peace, calming down tempers, bringing churches education. A church has been so useful, but yet still it is so maligned and so unrespected. And Jesus said, I know that's how it is. I'm sending you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. And this is what it says: because of that, be ye therefore as wise as serpents and as harmless as doves. You know, I think a very important point to note here is that Jesus is talking to ministers and pastors and church workers and those going out to work for him. And he says, you need a particular kind of wisdom to help you. This wisdom is for ministers, and it is manifested in this way. Is the wisdom of the serpents. It's very important because there are other wisdom that is available, and there's a wisdom that James says this one is not from above, is from the earth, is sensual and is devilish. There's a wisdom also of people which is not to be used. I mean, don't try how to. It's the cunningness of men. That wisdom is not what we are looking at. There is a wisdom that one comes from, is on this earth. I don't mean that. What we are looking at is a wisdom of the snake, of the serpent. Many of us, we see the snake as a dangerous animal to be killed, to be destroyed, and nothing to be. The fewer there are, the better it is for us. So a snake is a hated animal, which nobody will leave it as of course, there are few people who have these animals as pets. I don't see how a cold-blooded snake can be a pet. I really don't see how it works. But somebody likes it as such. I have to give it to him. Let him do what he likes. But snakes are really hated. Everyone we see, we kill. Even baby snakes, we kill them. Any snake we see snake, kill snake. That's all. No discussion. And nobody will argue with you. They are hated. But they are everywhere. I mean, they are everywhere. You know, I mean, in cities, in villages, in the desert, in the mountains, in the snow. Snakes are everywhere. So, despite the hatred we have for them, they still flourish and they still thrive. Lions are bigger, elephants are even bigger, but they are finishing. They are finishing. Lions are under threat. Elephants are under threat. They are now endangered. I mean, but the snake, which we like lion, we like tiger, we like these animals, but they are finishing. And the one we hate, he's the one who is flourishing. And you must ask yourself, why? Why is the snake flourishing? Why, when he's so hated? And he's flourishing not only in the forest, but in the city. You know, in my house where I live right now, I saw a snake just at my gate in the city. Look, snakes, they are wonderful, wonderful animals who are flourishing everywhere in spite of the hatred we have for them. And that's what Jesus said. You are going out as a sheep in the midst of wolves. That is why you need this particular kind of wisdom. So what is the wisdom of the serpents? This morning we want to try and see how to just understand one or two points that is available to us. I'm so happy for the prophet. He wrote this book, what it means to be as wise as a serpent. This book is a great, great book. You must get a copy. Look, if you are a minister, you don't have the Macarius. You are doing yourself harm, really, because there's so much wisdom and knowledge in the Macarius to help us to do well. So, how to be as wise as a serpent? I want us to look at a few points here, and then we are going to see how to apply it in our lives. Number one, a serpent overcomes handicaps. Snakes don't have hands, don't have feet. They are lying on the ground. Look, if I catch you and I tie your hands and I tie your feet and I put you on the ground, you are helpless. You are finished. Even ants will go into your ear, you can't do shilling. You are just trapped on the ground like that. But a snake has no hands and no feet, and is so fierce and so deadly, and it eats and it moves around and does everything. So having handicaps does not mean you are doomed to destruction. Though you are here as a good person trying to do your best, having handicaps does not mean that you're not able to, you're allowed to say, I couldn't do better. No. That is no excuse at all. You are supposed to, like the snake, overcome your handicaps. Are you with me? Handicaps are so many that in Africa here, we don't have lights, we don't have roads, we don't have congregations with good money, we don't have many things. We don't have, we lack so many things. But listen, we must overcome these handicaps if you're going to continue as a pastor, as a minister of the gospel. Number one, overcome the handicap by assuming the stance of an overcomer. I can do all things. We are more than conquerors. Thanks be to God for Christ, through whom we triumph in all circumstances. That's who we are. Do not say that I don't know what to do. Always say that I'm a winner, I'm an overcomer, I'm a mega brother. That is what it is. It starts from there. You must assume the stance and the position that no matter what I come against, I will overcome it and succeed. Number two, know that everybody has a handicap. Even those in the rich lands, in Europe, in America, everybody has a handicap. Even those who are moving around in high places, everybody has a handicap. We are earthen vessels. Nobody is trouble free. So do not say that you are handicapped and you are allowed to become the person who didn't succeed. No, overcome that handicap by knowing that we all have handicaps. And the third thing is, learn to turn your handicap into an advantage. Many pastors don't have a meeting place. They meet in classrooms, they meet in rented premises, and they meet in other places. Well, I have my own premise by the grace of God, and I meet here. Well, a few weeks ago, in the heavy rain that happened, my wall came down. Yes, my wall fell down. Look, you are renting your premises. When your wall comes down, very simply call your landlord and walk away. But where I'm the landlord, I must fix my own wall. And you see, you will say that, oh, poor you don't have your own building, you don't have a place. And oh, me, I'm lucky, I have a place, I have my own premises. Yes, I do. But you also, who don't have your own premise, don't own your own place, you are blessed. You can walk away and say, hey, Mr. Landlord, fix your wall or I'm gone. You can turn that handicap into a blessing. You don't need to say that I have no hope, I'm stuck. Number 4 is receive supernatural help for your handicap. I remember me too, many years ago, I was in a classroom, I was in an uncompleted building, not even plastered. And here we were in that place. And I said, Lord, this is where I am, help me. In that place with no plastered, no window, just the bare frames out there, I brought people to church. God can help you supernaturally to overcome every handicap such that they won't even notice there's a handicap. I had doctors sitting in that room with me, and they sat there, nurses, teachers, they all sat on benches in that room without plastered walls, because God can help you supernaturally. Amen. Overcome your handicap by embracing your weakness. That is what I had at that time. I had no choice. I had no meeting place. I was in an uncompleted building. That was my handicap. Lord, help me. I couldn't, and I didn't plan to move out. I was there. I was happy to be there. I had no options, and I embraced it. And listen, God was faithful to us. He really helped us at that time. Don't sit where you are and say, I don't have money. I don't have car. I don't have any rich member. I don't know anybody in town. Poor me in a corner of Kumasi. Nobody knows me. No. You are supposed to overcome and flourish and thrive in that place and do well. And when you do that, you will find that God will help you. God will guide you. God will give you clues. The key is wisdom. Wisdom that will help you to overcome all the challenges. And the first wisdom is how to overcome the handicaps. God will help you on that course. Number 2 is be content. Sometimes in trying to get more than you have brings problems. Let me look at what Prophet has for us here. Serpents are very wise because they are very content with little. Snakes eat just once every few months. You eat every day, multiple times a day. That's why you need a lot of food. Snakes eat once every 3, 4, 5 months. Some snakes eat once a year. That way, they can survive for long periods on very little. When you need a lot of things, you will not do well. You are always striving for more money, more property, more to acquire more goods. That struggle for more things will be a problem to you. But when you are content, look, I don't have a car, I take trotro. I don't have a meeting place, I rent. I couldn't get a hall. I have an uncompleted building. Just be content. Currently, right now, I have churches in uncompleted buildings. I've told the pastor, be there for now. Be content. Be happy. When things change, we will change. But until then, be content. That is one key that we need to have as pastors. The serpents, snakes, they are hiding in the ground, in the bushes. They are there. And they are content with very little. They don't eat. They don't look for shelter. They just hide in the ground, in the hole. They are just okay. You must be content with very little. When you have that mind, you'll be able to build a church. You don't need to have a briefcase, a calling card, have air conditioners. Sometimes the search for big things is your downfall. The search, the effort to get a car too early is your downfall. You can do trotro or taxi for many more years. You are in a church. You want to buy PA system. Don't have to buy A1 PA system. Just go buy some Ahuja speakers and buy some simple things and survive. Be content with little. Trying to have too much too early is your downfall. Trying to have soft chairs. Look, buy plastic chairs and sit in your church. Make benches. Use stools. Anything at all will do. Because it's the beginning of your church ministry. Be content to be in a church where there's no LED lights, but simple fluorescent tubes or even bulbs. Just be there quietly for now. Because at the right time, God will lift you up and take you from there. Another key thing is to hide and to flourish. Sometimes we are too eager to be seen. We are too eager to show ourselves as also there in the city. You are there, I'm also there. But a snake can be here with us in this vicinity, and you have no idea that he is there. Look at this. If there's a lion in your area, you will know it. If there's an elephant here, you will know it. Most animals make some noise, alerting us to their existence, but snakes are quiet. That's why they can be around us and you not know. Sometimes we ourselves are our enemies. We announce our presence as I've also come on the scene. I'm the next Orangu, I'm the next Obuntia in the town. I'm the next major prophet. I'm the next pastor who is coming. Sometimes just be in your corner quietly. You don't have much. Just stay there quietly. Look at this scripture. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 2. Let thy words be few. Let thy words be few. Sometimes we struggle too much to be famous before our time. We want to be rubbing shoulders with the big men, and then we join them in their meetings and we sit and then we are talking to be seen and to be heard. look, in so doing, you may draw unnecessary pressure on yourself and become a target of enemies who are stronger than you are. You are a small church. You don't have money. You don't have anything. And you are trying to rub shoulders with the big churches. Just be cool and calm. Hide and flourish. No one should know who you are until you are big enough and you are able to show yourself as God will lead you. Jesus was hiding for 30 years. When he was 30, then he came out to see that, for men to see that he was there. So John the Baptist in the wilderness, not in the city, in the wilderness, but yet still his greatness could not be hidden. Look, hide and flourish. Sometimes you hide by being quiet. Don't make too much noise. In silence, you will hear God talk to you and direct you. Don't be too radical. Don't be too forceful in moving forward. But just be gentle and cool and calm and stay where you are. We have time for just one more point, and let me look at the last point in this book, this wonderful book that the prophet has given us. Be a master of radical change. Radical change. A snake undergoes radical change occasionally. You know, snakes, people think that snakes are growing all the time. That's not the case. They grow, then their skin becomes a limiting factor. Then they shed their skin. Then they grow again. And that shedding of the skin is a radical change. To change all your skin in a short time is not a normal thing. Sometimes, as a minister, to do well, you must change radically. You are there. You are used to local food. You are used to dressing in a certain way. From where you came from the village. You eat fufu every day. This is your lifestyle. Sometimes to do well, you must change some of these things. Change your dressing. Change the way you cut your hair. Change how you speak. Add English. Or don't limit yourself to one way alone. You see, this is how you grew up. I accept it. But to go far in ministry, you must make some changes in yourself. You must accept that I must improve my English, improve my dressing, improve my environment. I can't be there. Okay, there's Bola outside in the area. No problem. But not in your church. But we allow some things to just lead us and take over, and we claim that we are helpless. I couldn't help it. You know, we cannot be taken by events. Let us be as wise as serpents, and in that mode, we will do very well to build churches that will stand the test of time. My prayer this morning is that God make you as wise as a serpent. God help you to be able to build a church that will have structures that will stand every onslaught of the enemy, every attack of the enemy, and that will still be there after some time. God help you. God help all of us to be able to stand and do well against every opposition. Wolves around us, people who hate us, but still snakes, they are flourishing. May God help you to flourish until you are strong enough to stand on your feet. This morning, thank you for giving me your time. I pray that you make more time this evening to join us as we continue to bring our conference to an end. This is our last session this evening, but it doesn't matter. There are more sessions waiting for us next year, and I trust God that He will keep us and bring us together one more time. Thank you for being here with us. God bless you, and have a very good day. See you in the evening.